Hello friends, welcome to my channel Clinical Biochemistry with Dr. PK Prabhakar. Today I am going to talk about the Omicron variant and we will see here what are the different experts are going to say about the Omicron and how we can protect ourselves. What are the different best tests for the Omicron test, how we can protect what according to the experts, and then we will learn also about the stealth Omicron. So first, just I'm going to talk something about the Omicron and their what is stealth Omicron. So as you will see nowadays, the Omicron variant's case is very on the decline side. Not only in the US, in India, throughout the world, it is going to decline. And in the Omicron, we are having different subvariants. Omicron itself is a variant of the coronavirus. We are having different variants like alpha, beta, delta, Omicron, epsilon, kappa. So Omicron is one of the variants. In Omicron variant itself, we are having different subvariants. So we are having BA.1, BA.2, BA1.3. In this case, BA.2, that is the most, you can call it transmissible variants. So this is called as a stealth variant, and officially it is known as BA.2, and that is armored with very higher transmission potential. It is having very high transmissibility and possibility a very great ability to evade from our immune system. So it is not going to be recognized by our immune system also. And other than the normal Omicrons, yeah, BA.1 or A.3, uh, this is little bit more complicated. WHO does not yet consider A.2 to be the distinct variants of concerns, but is continuing to monitor its spread. BA.2, that is called as a stealth variant, is beginning to replace the original Omicron strains in many different countries. And it is now a dominant variant in some of the countries like Denmark, where A.2 is the dominant variant, which records more than 50,000 new infections in just a single day. BA.2 also appears to be the major Omicron lineage in part of India, also in Philippines, also in some number of other countries. Also, it has already caused about 250 cases in United States of America. So that is the stealth variants. Now I am going to talk about some of the specific questions. What are the specific questions? The first thing which we are going to see is what you need to know about the stealth COVID-19, yeah, Omicron variant. So what experts say about this variants? So stealth Omicron, that is the A.2, is a sub-variant of highly transmissible Omicron variants. An expert believe that it has the more mutation than the original strains, which makes it very, very concerning. So three important things I have told you in this Omicron or BA.2. One is it is having very high transmissible rate. Then it is also going to escape from our immune system, and it is having more mutation than the normal variants. Currently, these variants are under investigations. The UK State Health Service Agency has said that the sub-strains is one level below the status of the variants of concern. So still, WHO has not considered this one as a variant of concern. The Health Agency of UK has suggested that it spreads much faster than original BA.1 strains and can also escape the tracking from our immune system also. According to WHO, number of countries have reported recent increase in the proportion of the BA.2. Like I have told you, in Philippines, in Finland, in United States, then in India also. While data on the strains so far is really quite limited, so that's why we don't have too much information about that one. Now the second important question which we need to see is it is very highly transmissible and harder to track. What is the expert saying about this question, this particular point? As latest reports suggest, scientific reports suggest that the new subvariant has detected in as many as roughly 54 different countries. In India too, in India also, the strain is believed to have led to the increase in the number of COVID-19 cases. So the first wave, second wave was because of Delta, and the third wave which increases in the January first half That was because of the Omicron only. In case of Britain or England, has reported several cases of stealth Omicron. Denmark has been listed as a most affected country by this A.2 variants. However, according to a statement released by Denmark's Staten Serum Institute, which is run by the government infectious centers, initial analysis shows that no difference in the hospitalization for BA.2 compared to BA.1. So, according to them, it is same rate of hospitalization there. It is expected that the vaccine also have an effect against this severe illness for this BA.2. So that is second thing. Third things what we are going to see here is, in this case is, this is negative test result could be possibility even with the COVID symptoms. So on this one, the scientific community say that as per the expert, the still Omicron lacks mutations. Roughly, it is because it is Omicron, so roughly it is having roughly more than 50 different mutations, which is integral to detect the COVID-19. According to the United Kingdom Health Service Agency, Omicron contains a genetic deletion in the spike protein S gene that helps healthcare service provider to easily detect it with the RT-PCR test. However, in the stealth Omicron, there is no S gene dropout or S gene mutations, making it very very difficult to detect it, and that's why we are not going very easily going to detect it. Given that the BA.2 mutation versions of the Omicron variants subvariants can evade the detection also, so it cannot be detected very easily with RT-PCR. You could get a negative result even if you have COVID-19 symptoms in light 2 of the which you need to be more careful than the usual. So even you will have some symptoms, you will be infected with the COVID, but the RT-PCR test can give you the negative result. Now, what expert recommend for every human being or every person? So, United State-based epidemiology Fahim Yunus took they on his Twitter account they have warned against the taking mild Omicron symptoms very lightly because it is not going to cause too much of hospitalization, not too much of seriousness. So normally people is taking it lightly. So according to him, don't take it very lightly. Even if one test negative, then the virus also then also you should be more concerned about that one. So having a sore throat or a fever norm called for immediate testings according to the doctor. However, if your results come out the negative, he recommends that taking the test again in the next 24 to 48 hours, and this time rather than a rapid antigen test, he recommending the RT-PCR COVID-19 test. So according to Dr. Yunis, suggests that isolation for 5 to 10 days and say don't just believe a single negative rapid test is sufficient. So even if you are having symptoms, sign and symptoms, you should go for twice or thrice for your tests. Then the most accurate form of COVID-19 testing. So different type of test we are having. So what is the best test to detect it? So we know that we are having rapid antigen test, self-testing kits are prompt to delivering the results. Molecular test, also known as PCR, that is polymerase test chain reaction based test, is also most reliable and accurate test for detecting the accurate active coronavirus infections. This is because an RT-PCR test undergoes a series of specialized diagnostic procedures and took at the entire viral RNA, while an antigen test detects only a specific proteins. And if that particular proteins will be mutated, the virus will not be detected by that particular test. So normally you should go for RT-PCR test, and that is the most reliable test. Health expert recommend getting a molecular test in case if you want to be very very sure for your COVID-19 status. Then the suggestion is home isolation is the key factor. Uh, so in that case, at a time when it is extremely difficult to differentiate between the Omicron infections and the common cold because the sign and symptom is very similar, so one must tend to COVID-19 protocols and take all major means precautions very responsibly. If you have a headache or sore throat or running nose or body pain, fatigueness, fevers, it is important that you should get tested immediately and twice or thrice on 24 means after 24 hours and 48 hours, and isolated until you get a negative test report. In India, for both symptomatic and asymptomatic COVID-19 patients, the home isolation period has been cut short to 7 days rather than 10 days. Many other countries, including the United Kingdom, has reduced it to only for 5 days. And the last point for today is follow COVID 19 appropriate behavior whenever you will be either outside or in your home at the isolation. So, in light to the new emerging variants, breakthrough infections, and lower vaccine efficacy, one must stay on guards and take all the precautionary steps, all the precautions to protect themselves, their family members, and others from this deadly virus. No matter how mild the virus is currently, dangers of severity and long COVID are a great possibility. So, this is all about for today. Now, the last point is what makes this BA.2 very, very different strains. Most of the difference between BA.2 and A.1 is the spike protein of the virus, which is used for the anchoring to the host cells. BA.2 also has a large number of mutations on their part of its viral sequence that are not well understood. Early estimates by the Denmark State Serum Institute, BA.2 is about 50% more transmissible than the BA.2 A.1 strain. So the transmission rate of A.2 is 50% more than the A.1. The Danish study, which is not yet peer reviewed, looked into the way COVID-19 spread in 8,541 households between the December and early January. About a quarter were BA.2 cases, and the data shows that even fully vaccinated people are more susceptible to catch BA.2 than the BA.1. Similarly, at the same time, United States Health Security Agency has also estimated that BA.2 is more transmissible through its put the figure it roughly 30% higher than the BA.2. So this is uh, stealth variants also. What is the COVID stealth variant? BA.2 is the stealth variant. So compared to all the COVID different variants, BA.2 is the more transmissible, more serious. So this is all about the stealth variants and what are the different experts is going to say about this variation. So thank you very much. Hope you will get some information. Nice.